it is G-Swizz here. I'm here today with my November TBR. It's already November, which means 2018 is nearly done. Wow, we only have 1/6 of 2018 left. If you thought that October was a heck of a big reading month for me, you should definitely check out my November TBR because I have 8 books that I am setting as priority for me to read. Usually, they are not this thick. Let's just say that 5 out of the 8 books on my TBR are over 500 pages long. Yeah, so there's a lot of reading to do. Yes, without further ado, I'm gonna get started with this TBR, so I guess I can kickstart reading this month. Let's do this.
So this is an interjection from the future today, book lovers. It is currently 6 a.m, so I'm talking pretty quietly. Turns out, I think around a day after I filmed this, TOPPLE was announced. It is so timely that TOPPLE was announced because I'm already reading like 500-page books in the month. So I'm just gonna put it out there that I am planning to participate in TOPPLE, which is gonna be awesome. Not only that, there's another book that I forgot to mention that is on my TBR. Archenemies by Markus Zusak is coming out this month and I am planning to read it. That means that there's 9 books on my TBR and 6 out of the 9 are over 500 pages. I will let past G-Swizz continue on with this video.
The first book that is on my TBR for November is of the thinner variety, and that, my friends, is The Language of Thorns by Leigh Bardugo. I've been meaning to read this for the past year. I just want to quickly, you know, take pride in the fact that I have a signed copy, and Hachette Australia were so nice to not really send this to me. They didn't really send this to me. I just want to give away at one of their events, and no, I haven't met her yet. I'm just hoping that one day she comes to Australia and it would be cool. Or maybe one day I'll go to America and I'll meet her myself. Who knows? But yeah, so I gotta read this one. I've heard very mixed things about this. If you guys don't know, this is kind of like a fairy tale collection that takes place in the Grishaverse, and apparently every single fairy tale in here isn't really that original. It's just inspired by other fairy tales out there. So I'm going into this with a very open mind. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention that there are like these really cool illustrations that just are throughout it, and it looks really awesome. So I'm really excited to get to this one, and I also, at one point, I'm not too sure if it will be happening this year or the beginning of next year, but at one point I do want to reread the Six of Crows duology, so I figured, hey, let's dive back into the Grishaverse. So yeah, I'm gonna give this a shot, and I'm really excited for King of Scars next year, so that's another reason why I want to give this one a shot. And the next book I want to read in the month of October will complete a series that I've needed to complete for some time now. I'm excited to get to it because I read the 2nd book last month, and I need to read the 3rd book now, and that, my friends, is Only Human by Sylvain Neuvel. If you guys don't know, this is the 3rd and final book in the Themis Files, unless of course there's going to be a spin-off. Who knows? What I've heard, the author has decided to keep things like a bit open-ended so that maybe in the future there will be a spin-off, or maybe there will be a continuation. I'm not too sure. I need to get to it, and I'm really excited to get to it. If you guys don't know, this book is told in interview format, mixed media type of thing, and it is just done so well, and it is just really intense. Waking Gods was just severe intensity for me. At points I could not handle that sequel, and so I don't know how I'm gonna feel about Only Human. I'm definitely gonna keep an open mind about it. I'm pretty excited about it, but I'm also pretty nervous because everybody likes Waking Gods better, so we'll see how I feel about Only Human by the time that I get to it. And the next book I'm planning to read this month is a book that is also completing a series. I told myself that my goal for this year was to complete the series this year. I've actually said that for the past couple of years, but it has to happen this year, so I'm gonna make it happen this year. And that, my friends, is The Hero of Ages, which is the 3rd and final book in the 1st Mistborn trilogy. There is a 2nd Mistborn trilogy, and from what I know, that is a spin-off. But reading this will complete the 1st Mistborn trilogy, the Mistborn trilogy that is thick, and I'm pretty nervous about this one because how many pages is this one? Yeah, it's like 750. This is gonna be great. So I'm not gonna lie, I feel like this is an unpopular opinion, but I prefer the 1st Mistborn book over the 2nd book, and a lot of people love the Well of Ascension, but I prefer the Final Empire as there's a character that I absolutely love in that book, and yeah, they're like the main character of that book, and in the other books, they're not really the main character, and yeah, like I cry every time, but I am going into this one with an open mind and low expectations. I did still enjoy The Well of Ascension, not as much as I liked The Final Empire, so I'm hoping that I will like The Hero of Ages, and I'm not going into it with very high expectations at all, but I am pretty excited because like I want to get more into Brandon Sanderson's Cosmere universe, and this is a never unpopular opinion. I prefer his Reckoners trilogy so far. I don't know if I want to change that or not because I just really love the Reckoners world and I want more books like set in New Cargo. Like that would be awesome, but I guess you can say I'll just take anything from Brandon Sanderson. I mean, at the moment he's not an auto-biographer for me, but I do want to get more into his writing because apparently there's so much good that comes from him. I trust people's word when they say that. I want to get to this one. If not, it has to happen in December. Main priority is just to finish this book by the end of the year. Another book that I feel the need to get to this month is a book from an author that I am planning to meet again this month, and I'm pretty excited for it. And that, my friends, is Maria Lewis, and the book that I'm talking about is It Came From the Deep. If you're wondering, this is their self-published novel, and I was able to get my hands on a paperback recently, so I want to read this because my intention is to go to a Maria Lewis book signing because her next book is coming out, and I want to at least read this one before I go to the signing because I've read Who's Afraid. I haven't read Who's Afraid 2 yet. Oh man, that's horrible. Why haven't I read it? G-Swizz! But I'm not taking Who's Afraid 2 to the book signing because that's already signed. I actually purchased that one signed, but I want to get this one signed. I want to have read it before she signs it, if that makes sense. Like, I don't know why, like, I feel the need to do that with some authors. And being that this book has been out for just over a year now, I think it's about time that I get to it. Even if I don't get to her latest release that just came out, I at least want to get to this one before I go to that book launch. So yeah, I want this to happen this month. Another book signing that I'm planning to go to this month that I need to book a ticket for. G-Swizz, you need to get onto it because everybody is waiting to see this author. Oh my goodness, I'm talking to myself in front of the camera. I'm sorry, guys. The author event that I'm talking about is the Bridge of Clay by Markus Zusak event that is happening in Sydney, and I need to get a ticket. It's a ticket that you need to buy, so I think that's why I just haven't been prioritizing it, but I definitely need to purchase my ticket so that I can meet Markus Zusak, but I definitely want to read Bridge of Clay. I just finished The Book Thief last month and it was amazing. I talked about it in my wrap-up. I just loved it so much, and yes, of course, because I'm trash, I had to get a matching edition of Bridge of Clay because that's what you do when an author surprises you like that and becomes one of your favorite authors like overnight. Yeah, that is totally the effect that Markus Zusak had on me. I'm really excited to meet Markus Zusak if I buy the ticket. I need to buy the ticket before I jump to that conclusion. I need to keep myself accountable to it. But yes, I do want to actually get to Bridge of Clay before he signs it because again, he's going to sign my book. And of course, I've already read The Book Thief and I don't just want to be a Markus Zusak fan that has only read The Book Thief. I want to read Bridge of Clay, and I also actually want to read I Am the Messenger. Oh my goodness, that's another book that's on my TBR. I need to find that one. Where is that one at? Pretty sure it's just hidden amongst my books somewhere, but oh man, I didn't even think about that. I want to read I Am the Messenger this month too. My TBR is gonna be chunky. And speaking of chunky, let's bring in the chunk with this bad boy. I need to continue on with The Expanse. I told myself that my goal for this year was to be around 4 to 5 books into the series by the end of the year, and I've only read the first book. I'm so ashamed of myself, but I am really excited to get to this one, and it's not like Leviathan Wakes wasn't exciting enough for me to continue. No, it's just the sheer size of the series that really does intimidate me, and at first I was afraid that I wasn't going to be able to afford more books in the series before I really wanted to continue. It turns out I found books 4 to 6 for very cheap prices recently. Like, we're talking between $8 to $13. That's how cheap they are. And if you guys want to know what the recommended retail price for the Expanse series book are in Australia, they're like $22.99. Yeah, that's right. I'm not even lying. That's the sticker. That is how much the recommended retail price is for these books in Australia. So that's why I was also very scared of continuing, because what if I finished the books that I already had and, you know, I'd have to pay $23 for another paperback? No, I didn't have to do that for the next 3 books. So yeah, the next 3 books are on the way. But I need to get to this one before I receive those books. So Caliban's War, here we come. The second last book that I want to get to this month, it doesn't have to be this month, it could be next month. I just at least want to get to this book so I don't forget to read it. Because I loved the first book in the series and I put off reading the first book for a very long time, and I don't want to have the sequel waiting on my shelf to be read when it's not read. Okay, hopefully that made sense to you guys. And that, my friends, is Vengeful by Victoria Schwab. This is the second book in the Villains series. And how many pages is this book? This book is almost 600 pages. I don't even really need to explain this one. This is Schwab, and I can't leave Schwab hanging. I need to read from Schwab. And I also need to read this book before I get spoiled. And I also need to read this book because I need my fix of vigilantes and villains, because that's what your girl needs. She's addicted. And the final book that I definitely need to get to this month, like I need to. I've been putting this book off for the last year and a half, and it needs to happen this month because next month will be too late. It's Lord of Shadows by Cassandra Clare. You guys already know how thick this book is, so there ain't gonna be any putting off of this book any longer. I will not tolerate it, G-Swizz. I'm talking to myself again. Oh my goodness, guys. I don't know how a lot of you guys put up with me, but I tend to talk to myself all the time when I am booktubing. This needs to happen. I know it's gonna destroy me. Everybody keeps on talking about how it destroys them and it has left them on a cliffhanger, and I know I feel like a fake fan because I didn't read it straight away. And yep, again, I say this every single time I mention this book in a video. If you spoil me, you are canceled from my channel, okay? Let me read this and let me grieve for myself. I'm so ready, but not ready at the same time. I don't know how I'm gonna survive this. So I guess that's gonna be it for this video today, book lovers. If you want to purchase any of the books that are on my November TBR, all the Book Depository purchase links will be down in the description, so you can check them out, you can purchase them, and you can help me out by doing so. And I also have social medias. I'm at G-Swizzelbooks on Twitter and Instagram, and I'm also Goodreads. That's www.goodreads.com/G-Swizzle. I love you, book lovers, and I will see you later. Peace.